We've come across countless different kinds of main characters in the beautiful world of anime, but none are cooler than the antisocial badass type hero that is just way too cool for his situation. Welcome back to Animeology. Today we'll be taking a look at some of our favourite fantasy animes with an MC that is the calm, collected, and antisocial badass that doesn't need anybody else at all. We're looking to bring you some brilliant recommendations with the coolest lone wolf MCs around. Number 10. The World God Only Knows.
まだこんなにできる。エンディングは無限にあるぞ。この先こそ神の領域。神のみぞ知る世界だ。
With a light sense of romance and touches of comedy across this awesome series, The World God Only Knows is an awesome anime series with a little something for everyone that watches. We follow Kima Katsuguri, a high schooler that loves playing video games filled with anime girls, known online as the God of Conquest due to how legendary his skills are at conquering any 2D girl in games. In school life, Kima is a lot less cool. The series starts off with our antisocial hero receiving a mysterious email that challenges him to conquer girls. Accepting the game's challenge, we soon realise that this is more than just an in-game challenge, and our antisocial badass is forced to help catch a cute demon from hell round up loose souls. The only way he can catch all these loose souls is by conquering these girls' hearts and making them fall in love with him, a challenge that Kima Katsuguri is more than ready for. Number 9. Snow White with the Red Hair. A brilliant fantasy series with some engaging and captivating romantic touches. We learn of Shirayuki, a herbalist living in a medieval kingdom, a beautiful girl with striking red hair which attracts a lot of attention. She learns to tie up her hair and grows up to be a strong and powerful independent woman, until Prince Raj rolls into town and commands her to become his concubine, a member of his harem. She refuses to do so and cuts off her hair, hating the fact that she is only so loved because of her unique hair colour. She decides to flee home to the neighbouring kingdom, meeting the neighbourhood prince and a number of interesting and other characters. She soon finds herself as a royal herbalist as the beginning of a very interesting and highly engaging love triangle begins. Shirayuki herself is a very unique MC, always looking to attempt any challenge by herself and completely self-reliant. She really hates to rely on the kindness of others. With an interesting cast of characters and a reasonably fresh plot, this is a series quite unlike any other you've seen. Number 8. Darker Than Black. An absolutely all-round phenomenal series and a legitimate personal favourite, Darker Than Black introduces some very interesting mystery elements alongside some extremely high-concept science fiction and supernatural themes. We learn of a mysterious anomaly known as Heaven's Gate occurring in South America, and Hell's Gate opening up in Tokyo. Changing the sky and demolishing the landscape, we start to see the emergence of these strange individuals with powerful supernatural abilities known as contractors start arriving. These contractors are kept a secret from the general public, but are used as assassins by national governments and secret shadowy organizations. Darker Than Black is a show about spies and assassins with crazy powerful abilities, traveling around the world and engaging in intense and violent battles for valuable objects and key pieces of hidden information. The story itself is multi-layered, with the MC High undertaking assassination missions around Tokyo, whilst living his false double life as a shy and quiet student. A thrill ride from scene to scene, Darker Than Black is easily one of the most ambitious anime series out there, and one that you definitely need to check out. Number 7. Haruri Suzumiba.
好きなの持って行ってくれ。部長、しっかりしてください。
A brilliant blend of science fiction and comedy, Haruri Suzumiba is a series that will both amaze you and have you clutching your sides laughing in the very same scene. Following Kion, an average high schooler, as he is forced alongside his classmates Haruri Suzumiba into all sorts of crazy and wacky adventures. Adventures including the supernatural, aliens, time travel, ESPers, you name it. As a part of a super secretive club known as the SOS Brigade, as more and more unique and vastly different members join, this series really starts to spread its wings and reveal what makes it such a brilliant watch. Our MC Kion isn't the most social person, and we see this interesting character type develop relationships with the interesting additional cast. The plot develops nicely until we start learning some absolutely insane things about the titular character, and how she could potentially destroy the entire planet. Seriously, this is an anime that goes to some wacky places you should be seeing for yourself. Number 6. Magi, Adventures of Sinbad. Some of you might be familiar with the epic adventures and fantasy Magi series. The Adventures of Sinbad is a prequel and a brilliant entry into the Magi world. Starting off as a well-received manga series, the waters were tested through a short-run OVA which was ultimately turned into a widely respected full-length anime series. If you're not a Magi fan, don't worry, Adventures of Sinbad walks you through the entire world and highlights a vastly different setting to the labyrinth of magic. Through this series, we follow the origins of Sinbad, a man who will one day be the king of Sindra. But we soon learn that our hero isn't always the brilliant rule that we know. Living with his parents and losing his father to a crazy war against the Rem Empire, Sinbad spends his childhood taking care of his sick mother until he meets the powerful and mysterious Magi known as Yunnan. A well-written and completely self-contained adventure, The Adventures of Sinbad will have you laughing and crying and amazed by some of the crazy fight sequences. A brilliant watch that will have you hooked from the very first episode. Number 5. Vivi, Fleurette Eye Song. Science fiction anime with a very fleshed out and thoroughly developed world. This is an anime series that looks to focus on a very personal story of an AI named Diva, nicknamed Vivi by her very first fan. Set in the year 2056 in a world with AI and androids that look and act exactly like humans. But each AI is programmed with a very specific mission. We follow the singer AI, Vivi. Her mission was to make people happy with her songs and aims to one day become the main attraction at the amusement park she works at. The story kicks off when she comes across another AI by the name of Matsumoto that claims that he has been sent from 100 years in the future in order to prevent a horrible and violent war between humans and AIs. The beginning of an epic 100-year-long journey to save the world. A brilliant anime series that can be so emotionally filled and touching in parts and so heartwarming in others. There really is no anime quite like this, with a strong core story outline and some absolutely unrivaled characterizations. This is a series that you have to have on your radar. Number 4. Pandoras Hearts. A strange and mysterious core storyline that is set against an epic dark fantasy universe, there is little not to love with Pandoras Hearts. An anime series that paints a complex and intricate story with a number of engaging and developed characters. Based on a very successful supernatural type manga, we learn of another realm of existence, the Abyss. A mythical place that is filled with horrific and monstrous creatures that are known as chains. Many believe this is merely a fairy tale to scare people, but our hero, Oz Vesuvius, soon learns otherwise. An heir to a noble family, Oz lives a reasonably carefree and quiet life until he is one day condemned to the Abyss for a crime that he has literally no idea about. Stuck in this scary and horrifying abyss, Oz has no choice but to team up with Alice, a monster that can take on a human form. As the two of them team up together and attempt to escape the abyss, the series itself takes a very close look at Oz and the young boy's struggles, the true nature of his life and the sin that he committed. Encountering and facing the ghosts of his past in a grim journey that is plagued with hardship and constant hurdles along the way. Number 3. Claymore. Easily one of our favourite animes of all time, Claymore is a brilliantly dark fantasy series set in a wonderfully grim world of swordplay and magic. We learn about a fictional medieval island that is filled with dangerous mythical beasts, humanoid shapeshifters that eat people. A mysterious group known as the Organization have created half-beast, half-human hybrids that are willing to slay these beasts for a fee. These warriors wear full-on plates of armour and wield huge claymore swords, called silver-eyed witches due to their unnatural silver eyes. Both these beasts and these claymores channel powerful demonic energy into their crazy battles. These claymores are often quite lonely and outcast from society. Each district in the island has a single claymore that watches over it. Different from the rest of society, there are only 47 claymores in existence, a solitary and antisocial life of a badass. Each arc follows a completely separate claymore and their unique and engaging storyline. This is a series that keeps things fresh and is carried heavily by its brilliant background and core story. Do yourself a favour and check out Claymore. Number 2. Records of the Grand Crest War. A rich and colourful world is painted through the countless light novels, manga, and even games in the Record of Grand Crest War series. A world filled with awesome fantasy and epic action sequences, there is a reason why this series has seen nothing but insane levels of success and is soon growing to become one of the largest entertainment franchises out of Japan. We learn of a world that was once ruled by chaos. Chaos used to seriously distort the planet, the laws of nature, and natural disasters. This led to a crazy world filled with demons and cursed people known as the Scourge of Chaos. But a hero emerged and protected whoever was left from the chaos and sealed it. This had huge repercussions around the planet that saw a tremendous shift in power, leading to the creation of epic armies such as the Fantasia Union and the Factory Alliance. This becomes the epic backdrop to the Record of Grand Crest War and Theo Corano, a nobleman with insane superhuman powers with a goal of bringing peace to the land. A natural-born leader, our hero prefers to let his skills and abilities do the talking for him. And number 1, Morobito, Guardian of the Spirit. A bit older than most of the recommendations on this list, Morobito is a classic among anime circles. Seriously underrated and considered one of the greatest of all time, Morobito was based on a series of fantasy novels that came out in the 1990s. We follow Balsa, a wandering hero that is vowed to fix the wrongs of the 8 killings she was part of by saving 8 lives. She plans to achieve this by being a bodyguard, saving the prince and becoming his bodyguard, but then learning that it was his own father, the king, that ordered the assassinations. The story really begins to kick off as the prince becomes the most targeted man in the kingdom, and unlikely duo begins an epic and dangerous journey whilst trying to uncover the truth behind the kingdom and keep the prince alive. We slowly learn more and more about Balsa and her grim backstory as Morobito has a lot of rich and well-crafted avenues for its storytelling to keep us engaged and invested from the very first episode.